The Philadelphia Eagles walked into Baltimore today and stomped a whole. I'm sorry, not the Philadelphia Eagles. Saquon Barkley and the Eagles. That's how we need to refer to them now. Look, they are one of the top teams in the NFC. Everybody knows it now. If they didn't before, they sure do now. This score, which the final was 24-19, but let's be honest, they scored that touchdown the Ravens did in like the last minute of the game. So it was kind of garbage time. I don't think the Eagles were, fully playing, and it was a great pass to Likely. I've given them that. The Eagles kind of controlled this entire football game. Lamar and the Ravens couldn't really do anything on offense, but I really want to dial in on the Eagles for a second. We'll touch on the Ravens here in just a minute, but let's talk about the Eagles. And there's two teams that stand out to me in the NFC, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. I think anybody that watches football, knows football at all, would probably agree that these are the two top teams in the NFC. What I want to know from you, Tristan, is are the Eagles better than Detroit?
Man, right now, I'm leaning yes.
Ooh.
Because Detroit suffered a lot of injuries in that Chicago game on Thanksgiving. Like, it felt like they just kept having defensive players go down. Like, one after the other, they couldn't catch a break on injuries. I wonder how much that plays a part in who would win in a hypothetical Eagles-Lions matchup. But it just feels like the Eagles are firing on all cylinders. Now, Detroit has been all year. I understand that. But the Saquon Barkley acquisition cannot be overstated. We've talked about it a little this season, not enough. Ryan, I really think at this point, he should win MVP. I don't know if he will. I feel like this is the year to do it. And just like last year, really, there's not a quarterback that's really putting himself above the rest. You could say Josh Allen right now. Lamar Jackson was up there. I don't think he's worthy of MVP right now. Saquon Barkley has completely transitioned this team, Ryan. I can't remember the last time a player coming into a franchise and just completely changing the makeup of a team like this. He makes them a dominant contender.
I stand by what you say. I think that if there was a year for it to go to a non-QB, this is the year. Now, I don't know if we'll see it happen. It may take the Eagles actually getting to the Super Bowl for that to actually be the case. But I think that Saquon is the offense. But more than any other team in the NFL, I think that this running back, you take him away from this team is not a 10-win team.
Oh, I agree completely because Jalen Hurts really hasn't been good. Like, the past couple weeks, he hasn't been bad, but even just look at the box score. 11 for 19, 118 yards, a touchdown. Rushing, 9 carries, 29 yards, and a touchdown. He has the tush-push. I know Devontae Smith was out this week, but Devontae Smith hasn't been getting a lot of, targets, receptions the past couple weeks, even before his injury. Jalen Hurts just feels average. It feels like he's managing the game, occasionally extending, making a big play when he has to. But the Eagles' offense runs through Saquon Barkley. We saw it in this game, Ryan. In the first half, the Eagles went, I think, 3 straight 3-and-outs. They couldn't really get it going. The Baltimore defense did a good job containing Barkley until the second half. And then finally, he broke it open, and it broke the game wide open. And that's kind of who Philadelphia is. They're one of those old school teams that just kind of wears on you. Maybe you're holding them down in the first half. Maybe they're not, converting third downs. Maybe they're not putting long drives together, but they just keep feeding Barkley. And eventually, he wears you down. That offensive line, which is tremendous, wears you down. Jalen Hurts makes 1 or 2 plays with his legs or a pass to A.J. Brown. On top of the fact, their defense is fantastic. Vic Fangio and this Philadelphia defense is finally rounding into form, dude. All these Georgia players, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, the rookie Quinyon Mitchell, the other rookie, Cooper DeJean, who had arguably the biggest play of the game, tackling Derrick Henry on that crucial third down, picking up Derrick Henry and slamming him to the ground. It feels like everything is going right for Philadelphia right now. It starts with Saquon Barkley, but it ends with that defense.
Yeah. I don't take anything away from the Eagles. To answer the question, though, and to give my take on which team is better, the Lions or the Eagles, I still am going to stand by the Lions right now. The reason is because you could take away Saquon Barkley from the Eagles and it not be a Super Bowl caliber team. There's no one player you could take away from the Lions that would still not make them a Super Bowl level team. I think there's even a chance you could take away Goff and replace him with a suitable quarterback and it would still be a Super Bowl level team. Now, it would be hard, but I'm just saying it's possible. You see these guys on a week-to-week basis. A guy drops down, it's okay. Next man up. Like, they just find a way to win. And then also when you compare some of these wins, like if you look at, just take for instance the Jags, terrible team, right? Detroit lays 52 points on them, only lets them score 6 points. The Eagles play them back in week 9, 28-23. They won by 5 points. So the teams that they should like blot out easily, they don't. That's why I think I still give the edge to the Lions. Again, that was week 9. A few weeks do make a big difference, and we could see that clearly. Like, this is a completely different team. 4 weeks ago, the Eagles are. I think the Lions just have a little bit of an edge on the Eagles right now. I'm not ready to make them the number 1 team in the NFC.
In a hypothetical matchup, if they were to face each other in an NFC championship, here's the reason I'm leaning the Eagles, okay? It's one reason, and you can tell me, Saquon Barkley, whatever. I'll even put that aside. It is the Philadelphia defensive line and defensive front. I think they would be able to get home and harass Jared Goff. Between Jalen Carter, between Nolan Smith, Zach Bond, by the way, one of the best, acquisitions this offseason. That man's making multiple big plays a game, kind of playing off-ball linebacker. He is fantastic. I think if they played today, the Philadelphia defense would give that Detroit offense problems and be able to win the game that way. We might be, cruising towards an Eagles-Lions NFC championship matchup. That would be great. I'm so surprised the Eagles have turned it around. Last question, has anyone done more to save their job this season other than Nick Sirianni? Talk about a complete 180 from how we felt about the guy. I mean, I feel the same way I did about him. I don't think he does much. I think, Vic Fangio is doing a good job on defense, and Saquon Barkley is doing a good job on offense with Kellen Moore. But let's just be honest. Nick Sirianni, he's going to be safe with the Eagles playing the way they are.
100%. He is. His seat could be a little bit colder if maybe they just started putting blocks of ice under it. Other than that, the dude's fine. He's going to keep winning football games this year, and he secured himself at least another year